The temperature in Pune is 38 degrees Celsius, Mumbai 29 degrees Celsius, Delhi 28 degrees Celsius. Summer is properly upon us. Now we haven't figured out how to halt the changing of the seasons just yet, but at Evo India, we do know how to beat the heat. We're going on a road trip. We're heading into the mountains and we're going to go look for snow. We're in Manali. It's 11 degrees Celsius out here. And that's cold considering we've come from Pune, but it's not cold enough. At Evo India, we're all about the extremes and we're gonna head deeper into the Himalayas to higher altitudes in search of proper cold weather and some snow. An adventure like this needs a capable machine. Meet the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. This is Maruti Suzuki's stab at the lucrative mid-size SUV segment. But this SUV is unlike any of its rivals. It has Suzuki's famed ALLGRIP system, which means it can head off the beaten track, head deep into the Himalayas where none of its rivals would dare go. Manali. Nestled in the lower Himalayas, it is a gateway to bigger adventures in the upper Himalayan region. In the summers, it is a bustling holiday destination with tourists from around the country and the world coming here to beat the heat. However, we're here right before tourist season begins. The streets and markets are colder and emptier than usual. The town isn't buzzing with activity like it usually is, but it still helps you unwind. It still helps you relax. The mountains that surround you cut you off from the realities of life. Your work, your worries, and everything else that usually plays on your mind. Manali leaves you with a sense of bliss, but it is only a teaser of what is to come. From Manali, we're headed north towards the Lahaul valley. Now, getting to Lahaul earlier used to be a long, arduous journey. You had to cross the fearsome Rohtang Pass. In the winters, that would be impossible because the pass would be completely snowed in. And in the summers, it was even harder a task because there's so much traffic getting up to Rohtang Pass that you'll be stuck in jams for 3, 4, 5 hours on end. But things are changing. Road infrastructure in these parts is improving and you now have the Atal Tunnel, which connects this side, Manali, to the Lahaul valley on the other side. It cuts down travel time significantly. It also cuts down the danger. Rohtang Pass is a dangerous pass and it just makes the drive a lot faster. The tunnel itself is less than an hour away from Manali. Not too long a drive. It's a really pretty drive. You're climbing up the mountains. You're getting closer to the snow. You can see it almost at eye level now. And it started raining. The weather isn't great today, but that's not a good sign because it could mean it's snowing at the top of Shinku, which is where we're headed. But hey, we're on an adventure. We've got a capable machine with us and we've got some driving to do. Here we are, entering the Atal Tunnel. Now this is my first time here. The last time I was in Manali was around 4 years ago, a little more than 4 years ago, and that time this was not open. But I'm quite excited to check this place out. Now this tunnel, it's 8.8 kilometers long, running through the mountain. An unbelievable feat of engineering, honestly, and it's nothing like the older tunnels we've known and seen in the Himalayas. This is proper high-tech stuff, you know. There's proper lightings, you can see signs for emergency exits. If there's a problem with your car, there are places you can pull in so that you're not blocking traffic. You can't stop in here, that's a security issue, but otherwise it's really unbelievable. And think about what it does, right? You've got this road, Rohtang, the Rohtang Pass, and it used to take you 6 hours, 7 hours to cross from Manali all the way to Keelong on the other side. But now with this tunnel, it takes 2 hours. If you're driving fast, 2.5 hours maybe. It cuts down travel time by around 4 hours, which is significant. Access to the Lahaul Valley has never been easier. It means that this area is no longer cut off from the rest of the country during the winters. It is a significant piece of infrastructure for this country, and it makes adventures like these so much easier. And we're coming to the end of the tunnel. You can see the light out there. And we're reaching the Lahaul Valley.
You make me wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate.
The Lahaul Valley, a region that mixes brilliant views, rich cultures, and great roads. At this time of the year, it is a mix of hues, whites, browns, greens, and blues, making it a spectacular backdrop for a road trip. The Himalayas are Maruti country. Everywhere you look, you will see a Maruti Suzuki. You've got Altos everywhere. You've got Gypsies everywhere. Swifts, Desires, you see a lot of them too. Marutis of all shapes and sizes, they're everywhere in the mountains. Which is probably why the Grand Vitara feels so at home over here. These cars, they're built for the mountains. They're built for terrain like this. And the Grand Vitara, it shines over here. Now, we haven't really had to call upon the all-wheel drive capabilities of the Grand Vitara just yet. But what these roads, this brilliant Manali-Leh highway has showcased is the exceptional ride and handling balance of this car. On roads like these, you just want to drive a car fast. You want to drive it hard. You have to remember not to get too carried away because these are dangerous roads. The drops on either side are dangerous. But you can enjoy the car and have a little bit of fun. And the Grand Vitara is a car that likes being pushed. You've got nice steering responses. You've got sorted dynamics. The way it moves around when the weight transfers is very natural. It gives you a lot of confidence. You can genuinely throw the Grand Vitara around and have a little bit of fun. And the ride quality is exceptional too. There were a couple of bad patches where, the roads break down in these parts. Landslides are common. And just look at the rocks on the side of the road over here. So there are parts where you have broken patches, uneven patches, rocks on the road, and the ride quality, again, of this car is exceptional. They focused on comfort here. And over long distances, we drove this car from Delhi, in fact, all the way up to Manali. And the comfort over long distances, the ride quality is exceptional. When it comes to a mid-size SUV like this, you need the best of all worlds. And I think on the chassis front, Maruti has delivered. Now let's talk about the engine. It's a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine, mild hybrid. It's a familiar motor. We've seen it in a lot of Maruti Suzuki cars. And in the Grand Vitara, it makes 101 bhp and 136 Nm of torque. How does it perform in the hills? Well, you have more than adequate power to make climbs like these, to make overtakes in the Himalayas. It's not a problem. And this engine, its biggest strength has to be its refinement. It's so smooth, so creamy smooth. Another thing that I love about this engine is the fact that it comes with a manual transmission. And Maruti Suzuki makes the best manual transmissions in the country today, without a doubt. They're so smooth, so slick. You can look ahead, plan ahead, get into the right gear and just go for what you want. Off-road as well, a manual transmission is preferred. So when we get up to the top of Shinku, we are expecting snow. And over there, you want to be in the right gear all the time because the slightest hiccup could leave you stranded. Which is why Maruti sells the ALLGRIP only with a manual. Because with the ALLGRIP, you have that kind of capability and you need to exploit that capability in the proper way, and a manual transmission allows you to do that. And of course, with every Maruti, there's no not talking about efficiency. And we've been driving this for a while now, and even up in the mountains, even where consumption is traditionally higher than usual, you're driving the car harder, you're pulling it up slopes,
13.2 kilometers per liter. That's impressive. I mean, this is a big car, it's a heavy car, this engine is working hard, and yet you're getting 13.2 kilometers a liter. The Grand Vitara is moving Maruti Suzuki in a whole new space. The comfort of this car, it's uncompromising. The features on offer are on par, if not better, than what rivals offer. Just look at the screen. Great screen, CarPlay is running. It's very easy to use, easy to read. My cluster as well. Analog dials, love it, easy to read. In terms of features, it comes pretty loaded as well. You've got a 360-degree camera, you've got this massive panoramic sunroof, CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless. It's all really well done. The seats, they're really comfortable. The back seat has a lot of space. The boot, it swallowed enough luggage for 4 people for a week and drove us all the way to Manali without trouble. This is a car that you can actually road trip in, spend time in without trouble.
Our first stop on this drive was Keelong, the administrative center of the Lahaul region, where we met an old friend of both Evo India and the Grand Vitara.
Suresh ji, nice to meet you again. So Suresh Rana is a rallying legend. He's 11-time winner of the Raid de Himalaya, and his rally car of choice was the older Grand Vitara. Safe to say, he's very familiar with the Grand Vitara nameplate. सुरेश जी, आज हम कहाँ पे जाने वाले हैं ये ग्रैंड विटारा के साथ?
शिंकुला जा रहे हैं। इसको 16,580 फीट जो है हाईएस्ट है लाहौल स्पीति में, तो वहाँ लेके जा रहे हैं।
तो सुरेश जी, आप काफ़ी सालों से 20-30 सालों से सुजुकी की 4 व्हील ड्राइव गाड़ी चला रहे हो। ये कहाँ से चालू हुआ?
मैंने 92 से मैंने गाड़ी चलानी शुरू करी है, और सबसे पहले मेरे पास जिप्सी होती थी, मारुति जिप्सी, जिसका 1000 सीसी इंजन था, बट वो 4 व्हील ड्राइव थी। तो वो वहाँ से मैंने स्टार्ट किया था, और तब से लेकर मैं अब तक ज़्यादातर गाड़ियाँ 4 व्हील ड्राइव गाड़ियाँ चला रहा हूँ। और मुझे लगता है कि जिप्सी का मुकाबला आज तक कोई गाड़ी नहीं कर पाएगी है। जिप्सी जो हमारे हिल्स के लिए तो एक वरदान है, मतलब लोगों के लिए वरदान है कि ऐसी गाड़ी, बहुत सारी गाड़ियाँ आई 4 व्हील ड्राइव, बट जो जिप्सी जो कर रही है आज की डेट में भी जिप्सी नंबर 1 है हमारे हिमाचल के लिए, और जो हिल्स एरिया के लिए या स्नो के लिए वो नंबर 1 ही है मेरे हिसाब से अभी तक।
तो जी, आपने पुरानी ग्रैंड विटारा काफ़ी चलाई है, अभी आप नए ग्रैंड विटारा चला रहे हो, आपको कैसी लगी दोनों गाड़ी?
मैंने 2.4 लीटर जो ग्रैंड विटारा पहले आती थी, और ये मैं 2009 से चला रहा हूँ। रैली में मैंने 2011 से शुरू करी थी, और काफ़ी पावरफुल इंजन था उसका, और काफ़ी कंफर्ट भी था। तो पावर वाइज, कंफर्ट वाइज वो मेरे हिसाब से वो भी काफ़ी अच्छी रही थी। और अब जब ये नई ग्रैंड विटारा ये सारी चीज़ों को मुझे लगता है कि ये एक साथ उन्होंने कर दिया है, कंफर्ट भी है और साथ में आपका 4 व्हील ड्राइव भी इसमें दिया हुआ है। 4 व्हील ड्राइव जो इसमें दिया हुआ है ऑल व्हील ड्राइव है। मुझे लगता है कि ये ठीक है। ऑल व्हील ड्राइव आज की डेट में होना ज़रूरी है, लगभग जैसे पहले 4 व्हील ड्राइव लो रेशियो वाली आती थी, उसको अब ऑल व्हील में कर दिया है। जो इन्होंने भी बनाया है सेगमेंट, बहुत अच्छा सेगमेंट है। अभी हम इसको लेके जा रहे हैं, वो देखते हैं इसको और कितना अच्छा करेगी ये बफलिस होम में। और मुझे लगता है कि अगर शिंकुला में पहुंच गए तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा इसके लिए भी। और मुझे लगता है पूरी टेस्टिंग, शिंकुला टेस्टिंग अगर होगी तो समझो कि आप
इसकी कैपेबिलिटी है
इसमें है कुछ बात।
From Keelong, the start of the climb was a mere 50 kilometers. We covered that ground effortlessly, crossed the bridge that marked the start of the climb, and started gaining altitude.
Okay, so we've started the Shinkula climb. The road, spectacular tarmac. There are patches where there are rocks strewn across the road. These are landslide prone areas, and you've got to be a little careful. You don't want to pick up a puncture or damage the underside of the car. But as of now, the road is not challenging the Grand Vitara at all. This is a straightforward climb. But ahead, we are expecting snow. A lot of it. and that's where things will get interesting. The only thing I need to take care of right now is not get out of breath. Even giving this piece to camera is getting me winded because we are climbing in altitude. The oxygen is getting less, but man, you have to look at this place. It is beyond spectacular. It's white outside. It's like I said earlier, up ahead we have snow. And despite the road being tarmacked, it's going to be a challenge. And we're going to be really putting that ALLGRIP system to the test.
We climbed a few hundred meters very quickly, with the road throwing switchback after switchback at us. It got colder and the air got thinner. Extreme climates for any car. But the Grand Vitara soldiered on until we found snow.
Okay, the higher up we go, the more snow we get. We started seeing our first signs of snow on the road. Now, it is slippery, but the Grand Vitara has a trick up its sleeve. It's got something called snow mode. So put it into snow mode, and what it does is prime the ESP, prime the all-wheel drive system to deal with slippery surfaces. The ESP is keeping in check the slip on the car, and the traction control is making sure that power is being delivered in the right manner. All of that makes sure that you can make forward progress very safely, and you need to be safe here. I mean, you look at the drops on the side over here, they're incredible. It's unbelievable, the sort of drops over here. One wrong move and it's not going to end well. So you need to be safe, and you need a car with capabilities like this that ensure you don't make a mistake.
The Grand Vitara also has the ability to lock the all-wheel drive system, so it sends equal torque to the front and the rear. This feature is critical to driving on slippery surfaces. Sending equal torque to the front and rear ensures that the wheels with traction are getting torque and are able to move forward. Without this, the wheels with the least traction would be spinning freely, halting forward progress. This is just another example of the Grand Vitara's 4x4 prowess.
Would you look at that? What a magnificent sight, isn't it? The Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara is a good looking SUV, and it's got proper SUV styling elements. So you've got that upright bonnet, you've got cladding on the outside, you've got that muscularity to the styling. But they've also done some really neat stuff to the details. I like the headlamps, I like the grille, but I particularly like the tail lamps. And it's got a sense of ruggedness and a sense of sophistication at the same time. It's a beautiful sight. This SUVs, they look best in their natural habitat. I need to take a photo of this too.
It is in conditions like these where the Grand Vitara shines. Most SUVs in this class, the front-wheel drive ones, would have stopped long ago. But all-wheel drive means we can soldier on. There are true blue SUV credentials coursing through the Grand Vitara's veins, and Suzuki has plenty of legacy in the 4x4 space. The legendary Gypsy, the older Grand Vitara, their 4x4 legacy has been carried forward here, allowing you to go where few other mid-size SUVs can.
You make me wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate.
This is it, the top of Shinku Pass, 16,580 feet above sea level. And to think we've made it here in the winters. In the summers, it isn't too hard. The road is paved all the way to the top. But in the winters, it's completely snowed in. As you can tell, fresh snowfall is still falling. The road up is slippery, it's snowy, it's hard, it's difficult. But the Grand Vitara, it made it to the top without trouble. This car, it properly showcased its capabilities, its reliability, and the capability of its all-wheel drive system, that we made it to the top without snow chains. It's a magnificent place here. It's completely whited out. At points, I can't tell the difference between the sky and the top of the mountains. But I'm going to spend 5 more minutes up here before the oxygen or the lack of it gets to me, and then head back down.
You make me wanna celebrate, celebrate.